The topic of today's presentation is instructional design for online learning. Now, under the online instruction, again, online creating of the courses and instructional design, there are three important points. According to me, you can add as many. So I have just classified into those three parts. One is your instructional design has to be proper. There are three principles of online designing of a course. Your instructional design should be clear, your course management should be clear, your instructional media should be clear. So these are the basic three principles, and we will learn more about it, each one of it. I don't want to get again the first point, the instructional design. You are doing formal or informal analysis prior to your course design, your online course design. All of you doing it, and if you have not started creating an online course, because I know my colleagues, they have already started designing online courses. They must have done, I'm sure, some formal and informal analysis that for whom you are designing the course. Kya milega, kaun karega ye course? जो ये कोर्स करेगा रूरल एरिया में, उसके पास फैसिलिटी इंटरनेट है कि नहीं है, उसके पास कंप्यूटर है कि नहीं है, स्मार्टफोन है कि नहीं है. So there are various other analysis which we already discussed. So the instructional design is very important, formal or informal analysis. It can be formal analysis or it can be informal to prior to designing a course. So what you do is under instructional analysis is suitability of a course for online delivery. वेरी क्लियर, यूजीसी ने कह दिया, मिनिस्ट्री ने कह दिया कि आप एग्रीकल्चर कोर्स, मेडिकल कोर्स, फार्मास्यूटिकल कोर्स, इंजीनियरिंग कोर्सेज ऑनलाइन नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है. सो व्हाट इज लेफ्ट? सो suitability of a course is now questioned. So what course? That is one dictation from the authorities. Another is my decision कि मैं ऑनलाइन कोर्स ये सूटेबल है भी कि नहीं है ये कोर्स फॉर ऑनलाइन डिलीवरी. दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. Second important point is different areas of knowledge and skill requires different treatment. This, as formal teachers, you all know कि एक skill component अगर हमें सिखाना है तो skill component का treatment will be entirely different from a simple a cognitive definition किसी की अगर हम सिखा रहे हैं. So different areas of knowledge and skill requires different treatment, and that's what the analysis has to be done. Second, there are many others, but I have just listed few the important ones. The second is audience analysis. We have already done. Online course में audience analysis में क्या होएगा? Learners' characteristics, your subject knowledge level, purpose of taking the course. Online में, I don't know. A 18-year-old is also my student. A 90-year-old is also my student. Is their learning different? The way they learn different? Yes, because there are concepts, all of you must be knowing, pedagogy, andragogy, gerogogy, and so on and so forth. Learner characteristics, subject knowledge level, purpose of taking a course. That's what audience analysis. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? Generally, all of us, ठीक है, एक online course launch करना है, कर दो, but unless and until we know, you cannot design your learning properly. Another important point which has become very, very important these days is your learners' technology skills. जो आजकल हम बात कर रहे हैं ना, digital skills की. Pandemic has taught us those digital skills, learner skills. But earlier, पूछ लो Zoom कितनों को आता था? Zoom में अभी भी इतने, there are so many features in the Zoom. How many of us we know? So learners' technology skills is very, very important, and that is what we have to see before we design it. Your course objectives. So course objectives, again, we write course objectives for the teacher. Teacher as in what I am designing, and for your learner. So your course objectives as a teacher will be your course content and structure, your teaching strategies, what are your assessment procedures. From the point of view of a learner, expectation from the course, what to do, how will they be assessed. So when you write the course objectives And this is, I mean, and not true only for online instruction. This is true, I think, for whole instruction education system. But online instruction becomes very, very important. That what are your expectations, the learner's expectations from the course? देखो सिर्फ डिग्री लेनी है, बीए हिस्ट्री करना है, ऑनलाइन से कर लो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, 2 महीने में, 1 साल में हो जाएगा. So, or learner wants to learn. That's very, very important. So that's what here we have to see the perspective, my objective point from the learner. And these objectives should be available on the very first day when you start your online course. So though both the things should be available on the first day, these things. Now, your second point was your instructional activities. What are your instructional activities? All of you, you know, in online learning, students are active or inactive. Classroom में तो दिख रहा है ना, कोई students हैं, you accept that कि कोई सो रहा होगा, but otherwise students mostly try to be active, but in online learning we don't know whether they are active learners or not. So what do you have to do for active learning? You have to engage your students. Some things, some points I'm doing it, like I'm saying, asking you to chat mein likho, asking you few questions and so on and so forth. So that's what you are engaging the students. Second is use strategies for different learning style. Very important. I am different. I learn in a different way. Ajay learns in a different way. Aman learns in a different way. Niti learns in a different way. Each one of us, we have a different learning style and we have to use different strategies. पूछोगे अब आप लोग क्वेश्चन कर लोगे मेरे को, आई नो आफ्टर दिस कि अगर सपोज देयर आर 1000 स्टूडेंट्स, कितने स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हम कितनी स्ट्रैटेजीज यूज करें, राइट? But you have to see majority of it, that what can be the various learning styles, and adopt few learning strategies that you can have project work, you can have give some assignments, you can have some activities, inbuilt activities, and so on and so forth. So various strategies you have to use for your active participants. Content should be sequenced. Again, even in formal system, you are sequencing your content. एक concept, दूसरा concept, तीसरा concept, चौथा concept, right? So all these contents, there is sequence. In open and distance education system, in your learning material, your content is sequenced. So what you are doing is chunking of the information. Again, all these points, they are based on the learning theories. Chunked is in smaller concepts, smaller contents. So that's very important. Then learning activities should encourage instruction. We have already interaction, we have already done. Now in online, it becomes different. Email se karoge, you will do chat rooms, you will do phone conferencing, you will do collaborative projects, you will do instant messaging like what you are doing in chat, you will use wiki, you will use blog, and so on and so forth. Now think, if you have done any, you have taken any online course, if you have experienced any online course, whether it is from Swam platform or it is from Coursera, Future Learn, any Udemy, any other platform, what are they doing? What are the learning activities they are using it to encourage interaction? So these are some of them I have listed. I'm sure we have not tested. Some of the times I have tested that when we have parallel works in a face-to-face, parallel workshops in face-to-face situations, we always put groups into different rooms, or within a room also we make up groups, but in Zoom also you can do it. You can do a breakup room. So how do you encourage interaction? Abhi kya ho raha hai in these online presentations? It is just one-way communication. In online courses, you can always do that. Second is your copyright issues. I don't want to get into it because there must be a session on the copyright issue. Copyright agar nahi hoga, OER is, there is one session on OER. Copyright issues, agar aapne course banaya hai and if you have taken material from others which are copyright issues, it will be plagiarism. Course coordinator phasega, university phasegi, everyone will be under the scanner. So the copyright issues are very, very important. Evaluation is another very important part of it. How do you do an evaluation? Informative and summative evaluation. Many people, they are just thinking evaluation kaise karenge online. NTA is doing it, IGNO is doing it online evaluation. Many universities, I have seen one of the colleagues appeared for a PhD entrance examination online. They had this platform ready, and I saw that evaluation, how they are doing the evaluation. So, what is the evaluation? But it is a very important component. You have to have the feedback throughout the course. Your content management system has to have inbuilt features. Learning management system like Moodle has that. Many of you, you know Moodle, maybe you can learn. It has an inbuilt feature of evaluation. Online evaluation forms use varied and frequent evaluation methods. Like if you see in your learning material, in open and distance education, colleagues from open and distance education, you take few concepts, you have certain exercise, evaluation exercise. You take another concept, you have evaluation exercise. In the formal system, all of you do in a classroom. थोड़े से break के बाद, what you do is you ask questions to your students. So that's what the formative evaluation is, and there are various methods. Maybe you can ask a simple fill in the blanks or multiple choice or some activity or something or so on. And last important point in evaluation is your evaluation must be linked to your course or your unit objectives or your lesson objectives or your online course objectives. That's very, very important part, which this we will not get into it, but maybe in the pedagogical aspect, you have all learned it. Teaching strategies, classroom mein to all of you know, but in an online, very important point. It should be learner centered, it should be active learning, and first and foremost, learn technology yourself. This point I always want to emphasize it. मैं खुद अगर टेक्नोलॉजी, अगर मैं खुद ऑनलाइन कोर्स नहीं लिया मैंने, and I don't know what is the pinch or how learners will learn, I have to take a course. I need to learn technology myself first, and then I can promote an online course. I now launch an online course. Course management, very important. It is planning during and design and development. Time requirement. Time is one resource. I know it is very, very important. बहुत time लगता है online learning, online course development के लिए. It is not an easy thing. Creating videos, creating assessment questions, creating all those things. So time requirement is what it is: complete design prior to delivery. Very important point. Put it down. कितना time लगेगा? Requires more instructor time. I mean, online courses which are student enrollment is so much of dropout. One of the reason is instructor time. Suppose करो 1000 students, if it is enrolled in an online course, there can be lakhs of students, and there is just one instructor, and out of 1000 students enrolled, 25, मतलब minimum number कह रही हूँ, 25 send you an email query. You have to, as an instructor, you have to respond to 25. आपका सारा दिन उसमें निकल गया, रात भी निकल गई, शाम भी निकल गई. And then if you don't respond on time, the students, your learners' motivation will fall. And that's what one of the reason of dropout in online courses is this, because instructor is maybe 1 or 2 or 3, but the students are more and they need your time. So that's one. Students' time also increases. It is not only your instructor time, your student time is also increases, because you have to learn in the evening, maybe late night, maybe early morning. You have to appear for the discussion forums, you have to respond to the assessment questions, and so on and so forth. Class में क्या हुआ? In a classroom, You come to the classroom, एक घंटे में जो काम किया किया, and then either you go to at your leisure, go to library, or at night you can read. But here you have to respond immediately to the instructor's query, to the email question. So that's important time. Tracking progress, very, very important. Everything is important. So again, this component is very important. Tracking progress is, instructors should be consistent, track learners' learning progress. I have to track whether you are learning from this session or not. Am I right? So that's important in an online course also. Immediate feedback. You have to give an immediate feedback. If no, the students, your learners, get demotivated and they drop out of the classroom. Online learning community is another important aspect of an online course development. Design opportunities for social contacts, create and promote atmosphere of sharing. So what you are doing is you want to share. This is the best part of online education. You share your learning. You are creating an atmosphere where you share. Like for example, just simple example, in this online training only, there are 100 participants. Each one of you are sharing with each other. That's very, very important. And this is what synchronous sharing, what you are doing it. So in an online course, again, you have to create and promote such an atmosphere so that you are doing sharing. That's very important. Instructional media in a classroom, in a formal classroom, what you can use, anything, chartboard, I mean, your blackboard or your charts or your PPT presentations and so on and so forth. In online, what will you do is instructional media is used for your information presentation. There has to be a design for the interface, and it is basically a multimedia. Information presentation, like these were the 3 points. What are the information presentation? Information has to be in a logical flow. Adequate information should be on screen. So if you see some teachers, just an example, again, some teachers, when they make a PowerPoint presentation, बहुत सारा material slide पे डाल दिया. That's not adequate information on screen. So even in online, if you see some of the online courses, you will see it's a crammed information on that screen. So that will not go good. So you have to present the information, use shorter lines. These are some of the principles. Important information at top of the thing. All of you see, you have those components on the top of it. Use white space to increase page appeal. Course in linear structure. Again, this is your instructional design principle for presenting an information in an online education, which can be applicable to formal system as well as for open and distance education, but we are talking about online. Interface design is tell users where they are. You all know this. I need not explain it. Clearly set the signposts. Signpost is evaluation का कोई एक signpost है, and those are defined signposts available. Learning objectives के भी there are defined signposts. So you can use those signposts. Clearly indicate links. In online course development, you give many links. Like you have a concept of strategic planning, let's say, or a strategic plan. You want your learners to go to others, what they have said, so you provide the links. So clearly indicate the links. Graphics must have meanings and use. It's not that any graphic you can put it. Graphics should be appropriate. Colors and type of effects learning, it is very, very important. So the whole instructional design or the education technology as a subject, it is very, very important for each one of us to learn about it. Multimedia elements, your audio video files as links. Many of you must have seen when you have done your online courses, that as links, whether you have to present it or you are streaming them. Your PowerPoints can be narrated or it can be streamed live. Students should be able to access all those things. Uh, just in one figure or a one slide, what should be an effective online learning? These are the components. Teachers are involved. There should be collaboration, pedagogical principles. There should be an administrative support for structure technology. So if you see this concept map, so if you have to design an effective online learning, prepare this concept map, such a concept map first. So what will that include? For example, if we say administration, right? Whether you have the approvals of your programs from authorities. So write this component before you go for design of an online course. Pedagogical concepts. I'm sure yesterday Professor Panda did that. How do you engage with learners, your learning environment, and this has to be student-centered. Technology, what technology you are going to use, assessment, feedback, recognition, and certification, very, very important. Whether it is a non-credit course or a credit course, and so on and so forth. So basically, I just want to share that, tell you that before launch of a course, if you make such a concept map, it will be very, very effective for designing a course. And I think concept maps as a concept is great for learning these days. So what is the instructional design for developing a MOOC for SWAM course? All of you know, and in this 5 days you will be learning the guidelines. I will not get into the guidelines detail, but some important points. So in SWAM platform, you have a credit course and you have a non-credit course. Credit course means a course which is taught for at least one semester as part of subject, and non-credit course, all of you know about it. What the SWAM guidelines say. It is available on the internet. It has, and that's what the instructional design they are talking about. It has 4 quadrants. Rather, it has 5 quadrants. So the first quadrant, if you have to design your online learning, is the first quadrant is you should have high quality video lectures and multimedia instruction and lectures by the best teachers. I don't know this part of it, but yes, we say that any teacher can come and deliver on the online. Yes, one can, but we have to see what is the communication, because I know I'm not good. Personally, if I say I know I'm not good on camera, maybe I'm good otherwise, but I'm not good on camera. So once you come, you are making a video, you are in front of a camera, you become conscious, and your video can be not a quality video. But one of the quadrants of this SWAM, developing a SWAM course, is you should have a high quality video. So you invite the best of the teachers of the subject, those who have the communication and presentation on camera. Second quadrant is very important, your e-content, self-instruction material, e-books, which are all downloadable, your assignment assessments, your discussion forum for raising doubts and clarity. And fifth quadrant, which they're talking about, is the transcription. You should give the transcription of what it is. So basically, if you'll see what we learned about the instructional design, SWAM guidelines has given this as an instructional design, that your course has to be developed on these 4 quadrants, and that is what the design principles are all about. I'm sure you will be learning that in detail. 4 quadrant, I will maybe skip. Quadrant 1 is e-tutorial, which contains audio, video, your animations, virtual labs, very important. In National Education Policy 2020, they have said that one has to integrate virtual labs into SWAM courses. Very, very important. So I hope you will have a something. Engineering people like Vishakha knows, because in engineering, virtual labs are being used. So all these things can be in quadrant one. Quadrant two is your e-content. It can be ebooks, your links, your open source, case studies, and whatever it is, your articles and so on and so forth. Quadrant three is discussion forum. Quadrant four is assessment. And this is a quiz. I'm sure all of you know what is the full form of SWIM.